the text messages. Oh, we're on. I just heard a dinging sound, so it wasn't like someone was getting text messages. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the webinar. My name is Nick Baldwin, co-founder of Lab Coat Agents. I'm excited to be here with you today. Our guest is Kelli Higgins, and she is the founder and CEO of Elevated Agent. It's a marketing, I guess we'd call it a marketing agency or a do-it-yourself marketing agency, I guess. How would you describe Elevated Agent if you were going to tell someone in an elevator pitch?
We call it a digital marketing agency.
Okay, so I wasn't too far off.
Nope. We're just combining the two together, basically.
Cool. Hey, and if you're watching, drop a what's up in the chat. Let us know if you can hear us. Let us know where you're from. We'd like
hey everyone.
to.
Good morning.
Yeah, hi. We'd like to know where everybody's chiming in from today.
Absolutely. I am currently sitting in Topeka, Kansas. So if you threw a dart at the middle of the map, you probably get pretty close to where I'm at.
I am in the Midwest of a good old state called Michigan, outside of Detroit. Don't let the Manhattan sign behind you fool you, because there also is a Detroit sign right next to it. So don't worry.
They fooled me. 5 a.m. My goodness.
5 a.m. in NZ.
Sure.
I don't know what NZ is. New Zealand?
New Zealand, maybe.
Yeah. Wow. If Paul, you are dedicated.
Amazing, Paul.
Dedicated, Paul. So make sure you stick around because Kelli's got some goodies to give away, some discounts and some goodies and some freebies. So you might want to stick around till towards the end, for sure. But stick around for the content as well. So let's get started. So Kelli, I just want to start off by asking. So you built Elevated Agent. It's a well-recognized brand in the real estate industry. I mean, you're like the #1 real estate template seller on Etsy. Is that correct? Am I wrong?
Yeah, we're actually in the top 1% of all Etsy sellers. Even in this niche in all of Etsy. We started back in 2017 before it was even a thing. I was selling real estate and I just kept getting a lot of, I've been an agent myself for right at 20 years now. And I just started getting all these agents saying like, where are you getting this? Where are you getting all of this stuff? Like, I've not ever seen anything like it before. I even had a couple of agents in my local, it's a very small sandbox, I will say, but I had a couple of agents call me into our Kansas rec because they were like, what she's doing cannot be legal. It cannot be legal. But this is when like home value websites were just coming out. Nobody in my area was doing home valuations online to where like I got the URL, my Topeka home value. And so it was just really easy for people to jump on the website, get their home value. And then I had all of these leads. I mean, I was getting thousands of leads on this because it was just so new to the market. And people just thought what I was doing just couldn't be legal because most of the people I was working around were quite older and not very tech forward. The problem that we had when we started Elevated Agent was we based everything from the very beginning on Canva. So all of our templates take you straight to Canva to where then you can update and brand the template for yourself or for your brokerage. And so we had to do a lot of education when we first started of, hey, this is what Canva is. This is how you change things in there. And so once I think about 2020, real estate agents really started understanding the concept of getting a template from Canva and how it worked and clicking the template link, and it was just all these like little nuances that people had to learn. But once the agents really kind of got the idea, man, our business just really started rolling and we were able to help so many real estate agents get the marketing that they wanted and they've always dreamed of without having to spend hours and hours or spending so much money on a designer. Now they can get it with just one purchase and one click and it's in their Canva forever. So it's a really cool system.
Now everyone knows how to use Canva. At first, I'm assuming it was probably a little bit of a learning curve, right?
Yeah. We built a pretty solid YouTube training channel and it's still up because we were just creating videos on all of our templates, how to use them, how to edit them, because people just didn't know. And so we would create a video and then just send people to watch the video because we were getting so many questions.
So let me ask you this quick question and then we'll get going. What inspired you to focus specifically so deeply on branding for agents, and why do you think agents branding their business in today's market is so important?
Well, I have a really solid background in economic development as well. And so I was able to kind of put these two passions of business growth and real estate together. And I just come with a background that understands marketing as a whole. And the problem is that real estate agents, they want to sell real estate. They really aren't thinking that they're going to have to become their own marketing department when they get into real estate. And there's a lot of marketing ideas that I don't think that common sense would necessarily tell you. Actually, sometimes I think common sense would tell you different than what you should do for your marketing of your real estate company. For example, something that I see agents do a lot, and it's actually damaging their brand, is they're constantly changing either their audience voice, like how they're speaking to the audience, they're changing their visual graphics, and they're actually not repeating themselves enough. I think your common sense tells you that, okay, your audience has already heard this message of my real estate agent helped me close faster. I'm just going to use that as an example.
Mm-hmm.
I had a story of a closing and we got them in faster because we did X, Y, and Z. We told it one time on your feed, but you know what? You should maybe do a face-to-face camera and tell it again in your stories. And maybe a month from now, repackage that story and sell it again on your social feeds, and so it is, even though it was one story and you told it once, real estate agents then tend to like package it up and put it on the shelf and then never revisit that box ever again. And in reality, all these major marketing companies, they're taking that same story and selling it to us over and over and over. And they never feel like they're tired of that story because they understand that's the story that gets them the customers.
Right. So telling it in a different way or telling it the same way?
Either. Honestly, mix it up. Tell it one way this time and another way the next time, and then tell it again the same way as you did the first time for the third time that you post it, or tell it, and also it's across all channels. So if you're telling the story on social media, then you should also be putting it inside some of your marketing materials, say your listing presentation, or really, if we're going to stick with the same story, let's say we got your buyer to close early. That should be a story that's in your buyer's guide. Here is Sally, and I helped Sally close early. And then you could have it on your emails. If you're sending out consistent emails to your database, which I absolutely think that you should be, man, shoot that story in your database. A year from now, tell it again. I'm posting reels that I've recorded 3 years ago, and sometimes they do even better today than they did 3 years ago. Just because you helped a buyer get into a house faster 3 years ago doesn't mean it's not relevant today. You still did it. It's still a part of your journey, and you still understood the process of doing it. So tell it again.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So I think a lot of agents go along with the mindset of, there's so many agents in my market. I'm competing with so many others. I don't have time to build this brand. I just want to get out there and get the business and make the money and so on and so forth. But if there's so many agents, like I'm in in Michigan, I only know Keller Williams agents specifically. There's like 8,000 of them. It's crazy, right? So that's just KW by itself. So with so many agents competing in the same neighborhoods, what are some key elements of a personal brand that truly can help someone stand out from their competition?
Okay, so I have a couple of different ways that you can promote your value, but I do think it's really important for real estate agents to pick something that they are passionate about and that means a lot to them, and try to weave that through all of these different ways I'm going to tell you. For example, if you really want to say that you close more houses than any other agent in your in your area, like something that's really data driven, then you need to make sure that you're using that same data across all platforms. Consistency is extremely important when it comes to expressing your value. Like I was just saying before, that is probably the biggest way for you to show your value in any market, is being consistent with your message across all platforms. Now, here are a couple of different ways that you can package that message. So again, I was talking data. You sell more houses than anyone. So statistics are an amazing way to show your value that is very yummy to consumers. Okay, as consumers, we love data. And one of the reasons why consumers really like data is because it's trustworthy. Right now, we are in a fatigue of advertisements. If you go on, say, TikTok, every third video is either a influencer trying to get a affiliate commission, or it's just a straight up ad, which is fine. But you do need to kind of find a way to stand out from that, because people are starting to feel like things aren't real. Like that you might not be telling the truth. So I think right now is an extremely important time to verify and validate what you're saying. So statistics are a great way to do that, because you can say, per our MLS, I sell houses faster than anyone else. Per our MLS, I sell houses for 105% of list to sell price than just the standard 99. I also really like statistics because I do think that you're smart and you can especially for new agents, you can kind of tweak statistics to really tell a story that you want to tell.
Right.
So for example, when I moved to Topeka, I knew 0 people. I knew literally no one. And I built an amazing business here. But I mean, I didn't have any statistics. So I made up my own, and whatever. But I said I was the fastest growing agent in Topeka. I was started selling more real estate than any other agent faster, which was very true because I hadn't been an agent in the area before. So, I mean, I was basically starting at the very bottom of the list, and I cruised past all of those agents that sold 1 or 2 a year very quickly. So of course I was the fastest growing, you know what I mean? So like, yeah, you can kind of use statistics to kind of tell a story that you want to tell. I never ever recommend lying. Like, don't lie.
Another thing,
I didn't have any statistics, so I kind of made up my own.
Yeah, I mean, another thing you can do is use your brokerage statistics.
Yes. That does get a little tricky, because if you get asked about it, then you're going to kind of have to be like, yes, my brokerage. You know what I mean?
Well, no. What I mean is, like, don't say, well, I say, like, my team and I, or my brokerage and I, my brokerage, or you know what I mean? Even if it is your brokerage, well, we work together, blah, blah, blah. You could, like I said, you could phrase it and package it however you like, as long as it's truthful.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
So I love statistics. Other areas or places that you can get statistics, your MLS, your local economic development website. If you're looking for statistics for your local area, that's a really good place to go and look. I think it's underutilized by real estate agents when it comes to pulling information for your local community. We build out a lot of neighborhood products at Elevated Agent. So we have like neighborhood welcome guides, neighborhood landing pages. That's something I did as an agent that I got lots of leads from. Was I purchased the URLs for a couple of our area subdivisions, and I made websites, and I got that information from economic development.
Yeah, so
things like employment, local demographics, population, that kind of stuff is great to get from there. Okay, so moving on. So we did consistency is a great way to show your value. We've talked about statistics is a great way to show your value. Another great way to show your value is through your negotiation. If you're a really good negotiator, there is nothing wrong with talking about some of the negotiations that you've done. So like I'm going to give you an example. For an example, if let's say you're the listing agent and you got your seller $5,000 over list price and a longer closing date because your seller needs time to do X, Y, and Z, right? There's nothing wrong with saying that. If you feel uncomfortable with giving some of that information, make it we would call like redacted, like, so we're going to make it anonymous. You don't have to say what house it was. You don't have to say what seller it was. You can just say, I just did this amazing deal for my client, and I want you to know I can do it for you too, because I'm consistently making these deals. Again, I use the word consistency because if this is going to be your angle, you cannot do it just a one time and expect to get value, or anyone to get value from it just by doing one time. You have to do it consistently. So if you're going to show your negotiations, you have to understand this is something you're going to have to show over and over again. So you could do it on a graphic. Again, you could start keeping track of some of these things in a spreadsheet. In every deal, maybe just write out any type of special negotiation that you did. I think this is a underutilized way of creating value. I think that too many agents are a little bit scared of maybe tooting their own horn. So this is if you're really struggling with showing your value, try this, because I don't think very many agents are doing it.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. If you're going in for a listing consult, you're going in for a job interview. So, I mean, if you're any job interview you go in, you're going to want to show off about the experience you have.
Right. Your home runs, man. Heck yeah. Especially if you had a spreadsheet of all of these amazing things, and then you put it inside of your listing presentation, you could even, like, I think it would be so powerful as a seller if you came to me with an entire page of, this is Alan. You don't even have to put names. House 1, I did this. I think the more data or information you can put with it, the more real it is. I also think people are a little bit smart if you're like, I negotiated $50 million over list price and they could close in 5 days and da 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 da. You know what I mean? Like, people are gonna be like, yeah, right. So be honest, don't lie about it. But if you came to me with a whole list of things that you've done for other sellers, I'm going to be like, dude, I didn't even know that was an option. Like, that's really cool. You're educating me. So I think that is an amazing way. Okay, so we did consistency, negotiation, and statistics. Now, one that a lot of people do is testimonies and reviews. I like these. However, I am now seeing more and more people feels like they're kind of lying about it, like where they're not putting the people's names with the reviews. It'll just be like a quote of a review, and it just feels like
their first name or whatever, and then that's it.
My favorite thing to do with this, and I think it is the most reliable and the most honest looking, is just using screenshots. And it can feel, especially like on Facebook, if you can get a Facebook screenshot of where somebody left a comment, it has like their circle profile photo, or on Instagram, screenshot any of that, because then when you put it in any type of visual, even though that screenshot looks a little messy as a graphic designer, it builds a lot of social proof because it is true and honest. You can't make that screenshot up. You know
what I used to do, actually? So when I was selling in New Jersey, I one time I had someone ask me for references. And so I thought, that's a great idea. I'll just come in with like 3 or 4 references of people that I worked with in the past that I know would rave about me, and give them their name and phone number. And if they want to call, they can call. If they don't, 9 times out of 10, they don't.
Right.
But like, you know what I mean? It's one of those things like, oh, instead of me just showing you their review, you could call them and ask them what it was like to work with me. Because if you're going to a regular job interview, they're going to ask for references. So give them references. Get ahead of it and say, here's John and Sally Seller. I helped them sell their house last month. You can call them and they'll tell you how great it was to work with me. And here's so-and-so, and here's so-and-so. So that can be powerful too.
Because then it subconsciously is, you're doubling down on the fact that this is real. I'm who I am. Everything that I say is honest. Because if I wasn't being honest, why would I give you these names and phone numbers?
It's also a good opportunity to then call those people and say, hey, I just left a listing consultation and I gave them your name and number. So if they call you, can you tell them how awesome I was?
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
$20.
What? Yeah, right. Exactly. Just slide it right under the door. But yeah. So anyway, you were saying, so what are the 4 we have?
Okay. Yes. So we have, testimonies, we'll kind of go with that. Okay, so another one is network. I think that using your network to build your value is such an amazing way, and you're already partnering with these people anyways. So some people like, of course, your mortgage brokers, your title company, but also you could do your lawn companies, your handymen, your cleaning services, your stagers, using this as a way to build your value, saying, I work with these other professional people, but then in the back side of things, you want to make sure that they're returning the favor to you, and also saying to their people, we work with this great real estate agent, and that right there builds value. Side note that Facebook has done some updating to their advertising systems. And now when you actually run an ad with a partner, so if you were a real estate agent and you wanted to run an ad with like the biggest landscaper in your area, not only is that ad going to go to all of your audience and lookalike audience to you if you use their creative controls, but it'll actually now do the same to the partnership that you've listed on the ad. So you are actually opening your business up to an entirely new audience that didn't know you earlier. And when you're looking at local areas, like that is so powerful. That's so powerful because now your value is leaking out to other.
Yeah. No, I love that. So let's talk about storytelling.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of us are really bad at that. You know what I mean? And I think that also has to do with consistency.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
But what do you say to agents who are struggling with the ability to connect their personal story to their business? How can they better do that?
Okay, so I definitely think that agents should pick something that they are absolutely passionate about and then take that and allow it to help them tell stories. So I have a client that is obsessed with books. And so now anytime that she goes and shows houses, she's looking for books. So she's not only like taking this one idea, creating a brand around it, but she's consistent with it because now she's kind of tying it in. She's going to book clubs. She's creating her own book club. Every time she shows a house, she takes a photo of a book on a bookshelf and is posting it on our social media.
That's cool.
But that consistency is creating that value and that brand for her. And then
a connection of like, this is the agent that loves books.
Yes. And so like now anyone that like thinks about books automatically thinks of her, and she's
getting out. I read this one. I'll ask her.
Yeah. And I totally believe in the little like mini niches. The riches are in the niches, and that goes for real estate agents as well. And it is something she loves. So it doesn't feel like work to her. Going to these book clubs, it's not like going to a PTA that like you don't want to be at, right? She's going to something that she loves. But that consistency. So the storytelling comes from when you are doing these things, telling the story of what you're doing. I'm going to this book club because I love these women and we get connections. I'm trying to pull out from this guy here, but and then when you're working with someone and let's say you love books, I think someone that loves books could probably be a better storyteller than even I am, but telling the story of how you've met them, the transition and the transaction story, any of that is relevant. But I do think that the one thing that agents do wrong when they're telling their story is they tend to tell the story from their perspective instead of telling it from their perspective. So they say, like the agent would say, I just sold this house, instead of saying, my client had a huge tight deadline that he needed to be out of this house because they are moving to Atlanta. And I was able, no, actually don't say, I would say more like we were able to get them moved out and on their way. So I think it's important to make sure that you're telling the story from the perspective of the client and don't make it about you. If you reread your post or your video and you're like, you say I a lot, or it's just more like you are the center of the story instead of the client, redo it because that's not how it should be.
Yeah, no, that's very good advice. So there's a question in the chat I want to jump to, Paul from New Zealand. So that's awesome that Paul's still watching with us. He wants to know how you position yourself as a new agent when trying to build your network?
So I don't know if I would want to position myself as the new agent.
Oh,
You
yeah,
just mean an
yeah.
agent.
You don't want to position yourself as new.
Right. Okay. I think you're saying though, like you're a new agent, so you're just trying to
I think he means like, how do you build your network as a new agent?
Okay, so I think that's a great question. The best thing that you can do is really get in front of people. So if you're looking for that big landscaper, go by the landscape office and leave information. Ask to be introduced to the people. I used to do this all the time, and I just think face-to-face is so much more powerful than phone calls or emails. That was something I did with my CMAs a lot. I would actually literally drop off hand-printed CMAs to the doorstep of the people. But I did this with my professional network too. I asked them to lunches. And here's the thing though, is that I always showed up looking like I was ready for that meeting. I think that that is really important to, I've always said, like, I'm going to get dressed for the job I want, not the job I have. Be prepared, and always go to these meetings with some sort of value to add to them. So I would say, man, if I was meeting with the landscape company, I would say, man, I have 5 yards right now that are just like absolutely needing mowed. Do you guys have a plan for that? Or like, what do you work with real estate agents? Like, do you give a discount? I don't know. Like, I would just kind of come at it with a value. Hey, would you like to do a Instagram live with me? I can show your office. We can detail what you're doing that's different. Be of value to them. And then they're going to it's the standard Gary Vee stuff, but it is true. It works. Yeah. And that's exactly how I would build it to my network. Is I would get in front of them. I would call them. I would ask, I would either come to their office, I would take them to lunch, and I would have something of value to give them or to offer them.
Hey, if it were me, the value would be the lunch.
Probably.
Food is very valuable. I just want to ask this question because I feel like it's a question that that a lot of people. Oh, I could hit my desk there. My camera moved all over the place. I think a lot of people kind of like hearing about things not to do, right? So, what are like common mistakes in branding that you see agents making? How can they avoid those?
Common mistakes in branding would be you want design or market brand?
Well, I mean, I guess it could be digital marketing, maybe. Like, what are they doing wrong in video? What are they doing wrong in posting their images? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So one thing I see a lot is sizing of things. So like font sizes always go a little bit bigger than maybe you think, especially in emails. That's one thing I see a lot. But also your logo, I would definitely have different variations of your logos. A lot of times I see agents only have one, and especially if it's like a circle. I always say we want a horizontal logo, we want a vertical logo, and then you either want maybe a circle or even just like a flourish, which is where you would maybe have like just a little like graphic of your logo. So then that way, those are kind of all the sizes that you would typically need to fit in somewhere. The other thing that I see real estate agents do, and this one is kind of funny, is that I call it the chicken wing. All real estate agents want to take their photos like this. They got the chicken wings going, which is fine. I have those photos too. They're always meant to be somewhere, but please, please, please get some branding photos of your arms by your side. You can do the cross, you can do the one arm, but when you are designing these things and you cut your background out inside a Canva, you look so silly with these big old chicken wings hanging out. And a lot of times it just doesn't make design like look very good. So I would say have some of those images. And lastly, I will die on this hill, but handwriting fonts are not great. If you want a handwriting font, use it very subtle and little, but I would even recommend not having handwriting fonts in your main logo. It's very hard to read. Also, they tend to be very thin lined, which makes it very hard for graphic designers. But also, like, if you're going to put it on something really big as a billboard or really small as your license tag, you have to be able to read this font, and handwriting fonts just are not it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. So why don't we tell everyone what we have for them today?
Yes. So I'm going to give you guys two things, actually. I have a freebie. I'm going to drop the link in right now, if that's okay. I have it ready. That is the
good.
Canva
Yeah,
link.
there you
It'll
go.
literally take you straight to Canva. You don't have to sign up for anything. It is totally free. And what this is a oh, I think I actually, sorry, that was the discount code. I apologize.
Well, just go with that one first.
No, okay. So the discount code is you actually get $10 in free templates. This is not anything else. Like you don't have to sign up, nothing. Free $10.
See what we did for you, Kelli? Look at that right there.
That's awesome. I know. I see that. That's really cool too. Here's the reason why I do this, which seems kind of crazy, but I always think like people are a little bit weary. Again, I'm building value here. People are a little bit weary sometimes of these types of products, and so I'm like, hey, take $10, go get a free template and play with it. Try it, see what you think. We are, and this is the first place I'm announcing this on. So yay, LabCoat. We are actually working on a partnership with an app called Reconnect. If you don't know what Reconnect is, I would go and Google it, but they are an app that is plugging into Canva, and they are working with all of the MLSs to get that IDX feed, and you are going to be able to drag and drop everything from Reconnect into our templates. So now no more typing or copying, pasting. You can take your photo, you can take the description of your listing, all of your listing photos, you'll be able to drag and drop straight from that app into Canva. So you get $10 in free templates.
And by the way, you get a lot for $10.
Yeah, I mean, you can get a whole postcard. I think most of our postcards are between $5 and $7.50. Yeah, there's
looking at the website
of
right
things
now.
that you can get on there for $10. That's not just like
newsletter.
A little bit off. $10 will get you a whole template. Reconnect. RECONNECT. Reconnect.
I use Elevated Agent.
Yes,
on my own free will. Nobody's paying me to use it for my listing and buyer presentations, and Kelli can attest to that.
Yes.
And then the other one you have is...
And I'm dropping that link right now in the chat. That one, like I said, will take you straight to Canva. No signups, no nothing. And that is a Realtor Value Trifold. You can print these straight off of Canva, which we think is great. We love Canva printing. But I want you to have this. You can give this to your clients, but I also just think that as agents, if you want to use this to start kind of getting your brain, getting those wheels to tick a little bit, thinking about what are some of the ways or some of the things that you do every day for buyers and sellers. We have one for each in that link, of the value that you provide them. Just knowing negotiations, you're more than opening doors. These are all the things that you do. So take a look at these flyers. Like I said, you can print them and hand them out if you want, or you can just use it to start developing what you want to be known for and how to grow your value in your local community.
Stephanie in the chat says she's been using you guys for a long time and she absolutely loves it. So we love you, Stephanie. If you for saying that.
That is awesome.
You know what? There's one thing we can leave them with, one final thought, I think. Okay, so if an agent that's listening today wanted to strengthen their brand right away, like today, they want to put it into play, what's one simple, powerful thing they could take and implement today or this week?
They just need to start. They need to pick what it is that they kind of want to use as their value driver and then just start posting it on social media. I would maybe make a challenge for yourself for 1 week straight to post every single day. One different way of showing that value. So if you're doing reviews, okay, then each day, think of different ways you can show reviews. If you're going to post reviews every day, people are going to stop listening. So you are going to have to think of some different ways to come up with how you're going to show those reviews. If you're going to do your negotiation tactic, or the statistics. I love, again, the statistics. Those are easier. But think of a different way for 7 days for you to show that. And I will say, if you do one thing for 7 days, that day 8, 9, and 10, those ideas start coming easier and easier and easier. You start on day 10, you're going to be like, oh, I could post that. Oh, I could post that. Oh, I could post that. Day 1, you're going to be like, what am I going to post? By day 10, day 14, it's going to be easy. You're going to start seeing these things very clearly because your mind is now rewired to look for these things. So pick one of them, take a week, and post every day about it.
So I'm going to let you brag a little bit about your social media membership, because Shelly in the chat says that it's amazing. So in case anyone's curious about what else Elevated Agent has, you do have a membership.
Yes, so we actually have 2 different memberships. This just started because our customers told us what they wanted, and so we said, okay, we're going to develop it. And so they're $5 a month each. And so the first one is our social media. We every day we send through text. We will text you a link for a feed post and a matching story and the caption every single day at 7 a.m. on the weekdays and 10 a.m. on the weekend.
Even on the weekend? Wow.
Yeah, and in the text, it is the actual Canva link. So you get the text, you click on it, and it opens it straight up into your Canva app. And then inside of that, we have your feed post, your story, and then the last slide is your actual caption. So all you have to do is paste it out of Canva, download, edit it however you want. You can put your stuff in it. We actually try to kind of not put a lot of areas for marketing on the templates, because in case people want to use them just as is, we don't want them to have to update a lot if they don't want to, if that makes sense. And so we send that to you. When you sign up, you actually get a customer portal and the text message. So the text message, we are sending you each day what to post. If you want to post all of your month at a time and like schedule it out, totally fine. We give you the whole month worth inside the customer portal. So you have the option to get it all at once or at one at a time. And then if you want it even a little bit better, we actually give you 3 different design styles you can pick from. You get all 3 in your portal, but then you just pick the one that you like the best, and that's what we'll text you.
I love
$5 a month. It ends up being like 16 cents a day. You get this. We are currently reworking this a little bit to include more reels and that type of content than just the carousels and the static images. So that is coming next month. We will be reworking that. So that's $5 a month. And then the second one is actually my favorite. It is our newsletter membership. So each month we create a new newsletter that you can send your customers. It's 4 pages. There's like a cover and there's 3 content pages. And I love it because this information that we're putting out is like super solid, amazing information that your customers want to know. It is not really focused on, we usually try to do one buyer or seller article, but a lot of it is, hey, this is how you can make sure your house stays cooler by putting more insulation in your attic. Like just some things like that. These are
super helpful stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, like we just do all kinds of stuff and just really good articles. And so then we take that one newsletter and we break it down into an email. So that one newsletter, now we resized it already for you and you can send it out to your database. And we have 2 emails from one newsletter. And then we also resize it into stories. So you get a print version, an email version, and then one for social media. And that is also $5 a month.
So now everyone's coming out of the woodwork. Where you guys been for the last 40 minutes? No, I'm kidding.
Right.
So a lot of praise. Stephanie says she's getting the vault after her next closing. It's incredible. Awesome. Laura Wagoner does have a question though. She says she loves EA. She purchased the vault. She has the social media membership. She took the quiz to choose how she wanted my templates to look, which is pretty awesome. Can she change that if she wants them to look different?
Absolutely. So we have all of our templates come into 5 different brands. And it was something that was important when I started Elevated Agent, because I was tired of like piecing all my templates together and taking so much time to make them look the same. So what she's speaking about is like, this is our peaceful style right here. And so we have peaceful, classic, peaceful, classic, playful, exclusive, and minimal. That's our 5. You can go to our website and take our quiz, and it will tell you exactly by, you go through, and we made the quiz where it's like real estate related. So it's like, if you're going to an open house, what shoes would you wear to your open house? What car would you get in? What would your office look like, and so then at the end it pops out what one of our styles fits your brand and your personal style the most. And so that is really fun to take. But yes, you can edit anything. Any of our Canva templates that you get, you can edit them inside of Canva because everything is built right inside of Canva.
Yeah, so someone in the chat, I'm going to pronounce it Caesar, I'm not really sure exactly, was asking about the newsletters
You
and
bet.
links to them. So I just said scan the code on the screen, because when you open it up, it's like right at the top, August newsletter.
So I just posted links in the chat too. That first one is our social media membership, and then the second one is our newsletter membership.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
and
so
then,
if you'll see, well, hold on, you'll see July. Well, yeah, then so August newsletter. Will this refresh to September?
So what you're looking at is just our one-off templates. The links that I put are for the membership. So if you
I know, but I was saying, because someone was asking about the newsletters. If you wanted to buy one, you could go to that website, right?
Yes, if you just want like the September newsletter, you can just go to our website and purchase it like a la carte. If you want it consistently, and so it's cheaper if you think you're going to buy it every month, it's much cheaper to do our membership because you actually get the 3 different sizes for the price of one.
One quick one thing. Hey, Lisa, it's definitely working because I did it twice.
Okay,
so
good.
I don't know. You might want to maybe check your phone a little bit and see. Maybe it might be on your end. So go ahead. Sorry, Lisa.
So and on the membership, we give the month that's coming up. We put those in the portal on the 15th of the month prior. So you have 15 days before the start of the month to get your templates ready and going for that next month.
Yeah. If you can't get the QR code to work, what is the Elevated Agent website?
You bet.
Because all you need to do is enter the discount code.
Yep, and the discount code is lab code.
Yeah, so go to shopeelevatedagent.com at checkout, put in lab code under code, hit that apply button, and there's your $10. So Lisa, if it doesn't work, did you do it the old school?
I'm dropping a link right now. The link I just dropped, it has the lab code connected to it inside.
Oh, it's connected to it already. Wow, you have just thought of it all. This has been super fun. I could keep going, but we do have to jump off. I definitely appreciate you being here. I think we learned a lot. I definitely did. I love branding. It's fun to talk about.
It is.
If anyone wants to reach out to you, if they have any questions, comments, what's the best way to connect with you?
You can find me on all social medias under Elevated Agent. You can find us on the website. And then my personal email is I'm going to mess everyone up, but it's hello@elevatedagent.co. It's a little bit.
.co.
Yes.
Oh, but it is shopeelevatedagent.com.
Yes. If you look up Elevated Agent, you Google Elevated Agent, you're going to find me. So you can get a hold of me on any of those social media handles. We got them all.
Awesome. So sweet. Well, thank you everybody for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Hang out for a second because we got to let the recordings upload.
Yep.
And it takes about 30 seconds. But everyone, thank you for being here. We will see you next time on the next webinar. Have a great day.
Thanks, guys.